Okay, and as everyone knows, we're getting audio recording for minutes and other things. So first thing on our business is the license. Gordon Lincoln.
Yeah, so Gordon Lincoln, at our last meeting, it was on the agenda, and the board voted to allow him. He told me he was licensed in East Bridgewater, and the board voted for me to contact East Bridgewater, make sure his license was in good standing, and then he could make an appointment to take a test once the building opened back up to the public. I called East Bridgewater. They told me that he had not been licensed since 2005. And that's really all they knew. Subsequently, I got a call from the health agent in East Bridgewater, and he said he has not been licensed since 2005. However, he was about to get relicensed in town, but he hadn't as of, I think it was last Thursday I talked to him. He still wasn't licensed as of last Thursday. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention to see if you wanted to change your vote or what you wanted to do.
Our vote was contingent upon him having an existing license in East Bridgewater.
Yes.
So
a license in good standing.
Okay. So how do people feel about that? Dennis?
This is Kevin.
I wasn't.
Okay.
I didn't participate in the last meeting, but
Right.
I mean, it's pretty black and white. If you set conditions requiring a valid license and he doesn't have it, then he's got to either obtain it or come back in front of the board and settle the situation.
Okay, Kevin?
This is Kevin here. I mean, what do we feel comfortable with as far as like licensing provisions? It's kind of a tricky situation. Every town is different. Like we said before, there's no statewide install license. It's kind of dictated from town to town. What do like other towns typically do, like in our surrounding areas? Do they require any licensing? Do they require one? Do they require two, three?
That I don't know, because every town is so different.
Right. See, the thing that just kind of I'm not crazy about is because of that, you could go to a town that basically doesn't require anything. They could go get a license, and then they can come to a second town that requires one license or whatever, and they can get a license because they have that first license. It's almost you're not making it so people are more qualified by putting these regulations in place. You're kind of just burying it with money is all you're doing. Just fees and money is really all it's doing. It's not making someone more qualified or less qualified. I don't know. I'm just kind of confused as to what we should do. I think there should be some type of, requirement that in order to get a license, but you also got to think too. I'm kind of thinking someone like myself, someone younger, just maybe getting into a trade or something. How do they go about getting that initial license? If say someone that's been doing this for 10 years, working for a company, they decide to go out on their own. How do they come in and get their initial license in Hanson? If say most of their work is in Hanson, or they want to work in Hanson, they have a few clients that they gave them jobs in Hanson. I mean, then you're kind of forcing the issue for something to not be right, where they pay someone else to get a permit for them, which isn't right. And that's what would end up happening, where they're fully qualified and capable of doing the install.
And that has happened. People
Right.
have come in and said, I've been working for so-and-so, and but I need a license. And I always give the same standard answer. You have to have, 3 licenses, blah, 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 and take a test. So they shop around other towns to see what the regulations in our other towns, and they'll get their other licenses elsewhere, not necessarily local towns. They're from all over, and then come back with their 3 and then take the test.
Right, but that's my point, is that doesn't make
Hey,
them
no,
any
I know.
more
I
qualified
get
from
that,
the beginning. It's just all they're doing is burying a bunch of money in it for licenses that they're not even going to use. We're kind of just putting some red tape there that is just solved by people throwing money away. It's really not solved by someone being any more qualified. Did that make them do any better on the test or anything? Absolutely not. It just simply made them waste some money. And that's the thing that I have a problem with the requirements. So I don't know if maybe we can find another way to do it, or maybe, I mean, I haven't seen the test, so I have no idea what it's like. If it's
It's
something
based off
that's
of a
pretty much,
plan.
yeah,
Yeah.
Could I say something, please? This is Gil.
Go ahead.
sure.
Back in the day, originally, before the situation happened that we had, you could come in, take the test, and get issued an installer's license. And then we had the incident here where they required 3 licenses. But definitely every town is different. I don't think there's any 2 towns the same. So it's basically up to the board. I mean, what the board will accept. But the old way of doing it, maybe for many years, was come in and take the test. You pass the test, you got your license. But like I say, so many towns are so different. It's hard to really, put a handle on what you actually want to do.
But Gil, there was an incident that made them require 3 licenses, I'm assuming. At some
Yes.
point, something happened.
Yes.
Okay.
This is
I'm
Kevin
not-
again.
Yep.
One more thing I wanted to point out too, that, us as the board, that we have the authority to suspend or revoke a license too, that if there is a problem, that we can revoke that license just as fast as it was just issued. So if there is a problem or something happens, or especially now, we have Gil, we have a health agent, we get a review engineer. If we see something, and obviously the engineers have to do their inspections as well. If something comes up that someone's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, I mean, that license can get revoked just as fast as we issue it. Granted, they pass a test. So I don't think it's really much of a risk here. And still, at the end of the day, just because someone's licensed, that, people got to know who their installer is, just like any other trade. Just because someone's licensed, it doesn't mean their product is going to be better than guy B, C, D. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think to kind of, not give someone an opportunity to at least, take the test. We're not even, we're not voting on or agreeing on to issue a license. We're agreeing to allow someone to take the test to, if he had 3 licenses, this gentleman here, that we wouldn't even be having this discussion. And if he had paid for 3 licenses in other towns, again, it doesn't make him any more qualified.
That is true. But did he tell you that he had an active license?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
All right.
He said he was licensed in East Bridgewater.
And he should have known that lapsed in 2005.
Well,
My
yes, because
concern is that
the
you give
licenses are only good for a year generally.
Okay, so you give this guy a license, he goes out, he's not doing what he was supposed to. The homeowner's the one that's going to be stuck with an unfinished or half-finished system, because we gave somebody who essentially lied, said he had a license, but really didn't, a license. And that's where my concern is. You're licensing this person.
As far as East Bridgewater goes, is that a renewal, or is it something he needs to reapply and get the license for again and take a test, or do we know anything on how?
No, he does not have to take the test again.
So he basically just has to pay the fee. He just hasn't had a job where he needed a license in East Bridgewater. So obviously he's not going to pay, because it sounds like, and from the backstory I heard on this gentleman, that he's a general contractor. He builds houses for customers, and when he does that, he'll do his own site work, or he'll install his own septic systems basically on those jobs. He's not really a septic installer that goes around doing jobs, septic installations. He's really just looking for a license to do his own job. I don't know if maybe we could regulate that to like a one-time install license or something, maybe just for this one particular job. Would that be something maybe we could consider?
He would be paying what everybody else pays for a full license to do one job.
Right. I mean, that's a decision that he would have to make on that. But I mean, would the board be comfortable to give a one-time installer fee until maybe he could work something out on that, just for the time being? Work out install licenses in other towns. If, granted, he still, again, we're just looking at qualifications to allow him to sit and take the test to actually pass it.
My understanding is his plan is to renew in East Bridgewater before he comes to us to take the test. Is that correct, Teresa?
Yes, that's what the agent told me. That he was going to come in and renew. I don't know if they have online permitting in East Bridgewater.
You're allowed to renew even though it lapsed 15 years ago?
Yes. He said that he already passed the test once. He is not required to take the test again. That's what the health agent in East Bridgewater told me.
I say
No
something here?
laws have changed in 15 years that require retesting?
I don't know.
Maybe not
Okay.
East Bridgewater.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm here. The gentleman that's applying for this, he's a reputable contractor. He's done a lot of work in the town of Hanson. He's done the ramps at the food pantry, the water department. I believe he's done some work at the mill. He's worked on a few municipal buildings in town. He's a reputable contractor. If that adds any input to this.
But he's not a septic installer.
He is a general contractor.
Okay.
Yeah, he's looking just basically to put that. I can't imagine that he's going to be doing any more septic systems in town. You know, he's not out advertising. He's not working with engineers, you know, to do installs like a lot of the contractors we see, like AE Wood or any of those big contractors. That's all they do. I think he's just looking to do basically this one septic system for his job that he's doing. I mean, would that be something that you guys would be comfortable with, something like that, to give him like a, you know, a one-time installer permit, or we could, you know, if he passed the test, could we allow him to issue the license for now, just as like a one-time installer thing for his project that he's doing? Because I think that's really all he's looking to do. Or if we wait and again have him renew his license in East Bridgewater. But again, to me, whether he has that or not, and all it is a renewal fee, it's just money. It's really not changing anything, in my opinion, as far as qualifications go.
I'd be comfortable letting them take the test.
But he's not going to be able to take the test for a while.
Right. He can't take the test until the building's open.
Right.
So by then he'll have his renewal from East Bridgewater. Because they're just going to require him to pay the fee because he's already taken the test there.
Right.
So do you guys want to leave it as is, the way it was originally voted last month, or actually the beginning of this month? But if he has the license in East Bridgewater in good standing, and then he can just take the test?
When the building reopens, which we don't know.
Yeah, he can't do anything until the building reopens.
Right. He can say right now that this is the only project that he has in Hanson, but he might have another one come up within the next year that he.
Right.
So I wouldn't want to give him a license that restricted him to
Right.
one project. Yep. So I would, at this point, he's got plenty of time to get East Bridgewater because we don't know when the building's going to open up. So us allowing him to get a license doesn't really matter at this point because he can't come into the building to take the test. So I think we should see how it plays out with East Bridgewater. Once he gets to the point where he's ready to take the test, then we bring it up again and say, okay, are we comfortable allowing him to come in, take the test, and get his installer license, knowing he at least has one at that point? I would be more comfortable with that.
Yeah. No, I understand. Again, the only thing, just with setting precedent on requiring, I just think we really need to kind of come up with a different way of regulating the licenses.
I agree with that, Kevin. I think 3 licenses is overkill.
Yeah, I mean it's not changing anything on the qualifications. It's just making people spend money to achieve something. They're just throwing money away.
Right. So do you want me to? I can add that to our meeting in May, the installer regulations.
Yep. Gil.
Yep.
Can you tell us sort of what led to people needing 3? I can see if somebody has a couple of licenses, you can call that town and ask, have they had complaints? What's going on? With no licenses, you can't do that. But can you give us some insight into why 3 were required?
It was the Ocean Ave incident of the homeowner.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming things went very bad.
Yes.
Would it be something that maybe in the future we could look at that, if someone has those 3 licenses, we can allow it. If they don't, they can come in front of the board and give us maybe some sort of a resume, they could give us some sort of documentation showing, they've been in the trade, they've been doing it, give us some references, something like that, and we can kind of make a decision case by case on something like that in the future. I just hate to have a set in stone regulation that says you got to have 3 licenses and then you have to do that, because it kind of really shorthands a lot of people.
It's actually not a regulation. It's just on the application. So it's
Yep.
a matter of renewing. And so we can do that next month, and taking into consideration, we don't want somebody who's never done it before and you really can't check their work. And then the homeowner is the one that's left in the lurch if they are not doing a good job or haven't done a good job. That's my concern.
Right. No, and I'm not looking to go to bat for someone that's never done this before and looking to jump into a trade. I'm just looking at maybe someone that has 5-10 years experience. They've been working for someone and now they're looking to go out on their own and they have no licenses. Where do they start? Aside from going and spending money in these other towns that don't require anything, they can get a license and then come and produce them to us. That's all I'm kind of thinking.
Okay, so we can put that on the agenda for our next meeting so that we can talk about that and how we want to restructure that application.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
So what do you want to do about him? You want to just leave it as it originally was, that once he gets his license in East Bridgewater, he can sit and take the test and be done with it?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think how we had it, I think would be fine.
So I'll just leave it as is. Okay.
Yep.
If he can produce his license from East Bridgewater, he can take the test.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, are we moving on to septic plans?
Yep. So you guys all got the email I sent with the plans, correct?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So 922 Winter Street, both of them are need to have deed restriction notation added to the plan.
Yeah, I wondered about that, but I didn't see it. But
They're not on either plan, so they need to be added.
all right. So we're going to start with 922 Winter. Do I have a motion?
I'm just looking at the plan now. It looks like, so
Okay.
this one for 922 Winter Street, it looks like they're just looking for a reduction in groundwater from 4 feet to actually not even 3 feet. They're looking 3.12. They're looking for like an 8-inch groundwater reduction, 8 to 10-inch groundwater reduction. Does that sound right?
Yep. One of them did, and I think that was it. I'm trying to see my notes here.
Yeah, it was a 4 minute per inch perk rate, and it looked like they.
So it looks like it came in on 4.6. There was a bunch of notes. Then it went out. It came back on 4.9 with stuff added. So let me see.
Yeah, it's an existing 4-bedroom house, and it was designed with needs 440 gallon per day. It was designed with 456. So they're not looking for a reduction in that or anything. They're just looking for a reduction on groundwater. They're modeling at 72 inches.
Yep. So does anybody want to make a motion and we can further discuss it?
And they're already using, on the chambers, they're using the low profiles. So the field is already as shallow as it can be. So really the reduction is needed. So I'll make a motion to approve the plan as shown for 922 Winter Street, and it pending a deed restriction on the property for a 4-bedroom.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Second. All right. Any further discussion? Go ahead.
Do we need conservation approval on this? It looks like they're outside of the 50, just in the 100.
Hang on one second. Oh, it already has a blanket permit.
Okay. So it would just be conditional on the deed restriction?
Deed restriction notation on the plan.
Okay, any further discussion?
No?
Okay, I'll take a roll call vote. Kevin?
Yes?
Arlene, yes. Dennis?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. One down. 470 Pleasant Street. And this is a 3-bedroom with a deed restriction, right?
Yeah, this is also a deed restriction. Distance to groundwater. Also needs a notation.
Which one is this? Pleasant Street?
Yeah.
470 Pleasant Street.
Okay.
I just printed out the review notes because it was easier to look at it.
4 feet to 2 feet.
I'm just taking a second here. I'm just looking at the plan.
Go right ahead.
4.
Okay.
Now, with a Presby system, can they go to a 2-foot separation? I thought that you'd have to do treatment to go to a 2-foot separation. I thought we could go to a 3. I wasn't aware we could go to a 2. Is that correct?
I believe, like Kevin, I believe on the Presby system, it is a 2-foot separation.
It is? Okay.
Notice, I was gonna make a comment on this. It is
Mhm.
it is a Presby system, and, which requires a couple of extra inspections, you know, the regular system. And also along with this, the installer has to, you know, certify that he's using, Presby sand for the sieve analysis. And, also the installer has to be certified in Presby installation. And, so this particular system requires a couple more inspections than a normal, you know, system. So just bringing that to your attention that at some point in time, you know, the board might want to take a look at, you know, increasing inspection fees and whatnot on these IA systems.
Kevin, did you look at the review by Mr. Donovan?
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I'm looking at it
Okay.
right now.
All right.
So it looks like they're taking a 40% reduction in the field size too.
That's not listed under, that's what it says on the notes, but it's not listed under the variances.
No, it's not on the variances.
This plan's a little set up a little different than what I'm
I literally said that
used
right
to.
before we got on the phone. I looked at it, I'm like, there's way too much going on this plan.
Yeah, it's kind of funky the way they set it up on this one. It's just not formatted usually how we see them.
100-foot buffer on the wetlands, is that something new? I thought it was 50.
Well, it's within 100 foot, but they're outside the 100. The 100's going the other way.
Yeah.
The 100's on the left-hand side. So they're out of it. They don't have a problem with that.
Gil, have we gotten any information about the installer being certified in Presby?
No, no one's.
We don't know who the
we don't-
installer is.
Yeah, we don't know who the installer is.
Okay,
It does look like with their leaching area required, it looks like they need 623 square feet of leaching area, and they are showing a 40% reduction in there. They're supplying 432 square feet of leaching area. They're supposed to have 623, so they are looking for it, and they don't have that noted. It doesn't look like for a variance request. It looks like they should have a variance request for the reduction in field size, but they're also looking for a 2-foot groundwater reduction. I'm not sure that they can have both.
Okay, so I would suggest you guys table this, and I'll send it back out to the engineer and
And
tell
let
him
him
that he's not requesting all of the variances that he needs. And can you have both at the same time?
Right,
Right.
because he,
Right, because he's asking for the groundwater and the reduction in the field.
right, they're looking for a 40% reduction in the field, I believe. I mean, as a bed configuration, usually you can take a reduction, but I'm not sure if you can take that reduction and a 2-foot. Like I said, you can normally get a 3-foot with a variance, but you can't get a 2-foot. But with a Presby, I think, like Gil said, I think you can. I think that's what some people use them for, is you can get a reduction to 2 feet. But I'm not so sure that you could take that leaching field area size reduction as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I just question it. That's all.
Right,
Maybe
well-
it's something I got missed.
That is a good point, because we really don't have a full Presby system in the town of Hanson. But I know the 2-foot is applicable to the full Presby system, but the reduction, I'm not sure DP allows a 40% reduction also with the 2-foot reduction. So that is a good question.
Yeah, because they're providing 432 square feet, and their calculations show they need 623. So.
All right, I'll contact the engineer and table it till the next meeting if we have it back by then.
right, okay. Anything else on the agenda? It was just those 2 items, right?
Do we need to make a motion to table that?
No.
Sorry about that. We can.
All right, I'll make a motion to table the septic plan for 470 Pleasant Street to next meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? Kevin,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
and Arlene, yes. That will be tabled.
Okay.
Gil, do you want to do an agent report?
Yes, I do. We get closer to the phone here. As you're all aware, the VNA contract expires June 30th. We've been in contact with them. They absolutely will not renew the contract, and it was suggested by the VNA for us to take on the Maven, which they would help us with, getting set up for it and whatnot, and become certified for the Maven. And once we can do that, they will help us along till the end of the contract. And at that time, we can apply to the state for aid in the tracking and what goes on with the Department of Public Health and how they're also trying to aid towns in this. There's so many towns around us.
You mean with the COVID tracking?
No, the general tracking. The COVID's going to be taken over by the state in time here.
Yes.
So, and just the general tracking. All the towns around are in the same position as we are.
I know Whitman is, and I don't know who else uses them.
Whitman, let's see, what else? East Bridgewater?
No, East Bridgewater does not.
Yeah. So basically, all the surrounding towns are doing this, getting certified in the Maven and, and taking it over. Like I said, they'll help us with the training and the process of doing it. And at that time, hopefully, we'll be able to do a lot of it ourselves. We're looking, we can get a volunteer from the state to come in and help us we've talked this on the calls. I'm sure you listen to this, Eileen, on some of the calls that
Yep.
the state is pushing to send people in to help us with this. So I think this is, something we should do, immediately. This meeting is to, take a vote for us to, get into the Maven contract, do Maven tracking ourselves, and
Okay.
for us to over.
How has the VNA have they been able to keep up with all the tracking they're doing right now, given the fact that you're doing 2 or 3 towns?
Yeah, they're having a hard time now. We've talked to Tricia there, and she suggested very heavy we get going on this right away, and which we're looking into this and do it as soon as possible because the workload is getting so heavy, and it's
Well,
this
that's what I
time.
thought.
It's this time once we do this, and then that Kelly Driscoll and them there, we can get in touch with them for assistance in tracking.
Right now, we can either opt in to get into the new tracking program, or at some point, and I don't know what the date is, it may be May 1st, all the towns are going to be put into that so that they're actually going to be taking over all the COVID tracking.
All the COVID cases, yes, correct. And
So,
that's taking place now, but as far as us getting involved into the Maven tracking and everything, like I said, most towns around here are all starting to do this themselves. And I think it's important for us to get this done as soon as possible.
we absolutely have to do that. So is VNA going to do the training, or are you just going to go through Maven?
Maven.
Okay. Yep. Because Maven absolutely has made that available.
Right.
And they have the online class that you can take.
Right. So I don't know if you need a vote of the board to this. I mean, the contract ends.
Yes, we need a motion.
Okay. We need a vote of the board to to do this.
Okay, do I have a motion for the health agent to get trained on the Maven system?
I'll make a motion
It was
for
Dennis?
Gil Amato to go through the Maven training.
Yeah. Administrative Assistant Teresa to also.
Yes, I'm sorry. Teresa
They
and
may
Gil.
only give you one login, Gil.
We're working with working with people on that to get information on that. So if at all possible, because the both of us to take the training.
Okay, but they may only give you one. They're very in the past they were very strict about how many per organization.
Right.
So
it looks like it appears that we can get both of us on it.
All right, so then do you want to change your motion, Dennis?
But to include both of them?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Just say staff?
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to for Gil Amato and Teresa to attend the Maven training towards certification.
Okay. Is there a second?
This is Kevin. I'll second that.
Okay. All right. All in favor, Kevin?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
And Arlene, yes. Okay. What else on your report, Gil?
Okay, we have the next thing we have here. We were granted money from the Massachusetts Health Board Association's trust fund. We received $5,000. We now received another $5,000. We've been in contact with them, the usage of the funds, and part of the thing is we can upgrade our computer system here. The Board of Health office here has the oldest computers in the whole town hall, so we asked them if it's possible to use some of these funds for new computers. We've talked to them the other day, and this is an immediate thing with this fund that comes out of a trust fund for the local towns and Board of Health. So we've asked if it's possible that we can upgrade our system here to 2 laptops, and they said no problem. And the reason for the laptops is because remote access and whatnot, unknowing where this is going as far as this virus, as far as it expanding, things being shut down, and they suggested, laptops would be a very good thing to do with what's going on with this.
Okay, and that's not, and there's no problem adding that to the town system?
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
I've spoken, I asked the Mass Association of Health Boards if we could use the money for that. I received approval for that, and I also spoke to Ryan about it.
Okay, because you definitely need new computers, especially if you're going to be doing Maven. You need a decent system
Yes.
to be able to work on, and the system you have there, the computers you have there, are not reliable.
Right.
I would think that would probably help if you go into training classes too. You'd need that, or in events like now where we still need to be fully operational. That you
Yeah.
can't be expected to be using your home computer that could be outdated, or if you don't even have one, at least they have these. They can work remotely from home, and where it's all set up with Brian from the IT department. I think that'd be a great thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, and the training is I believe it's an online training. They don't have to go anywhere. It's just an online training that they'll have to take.
I'm saying, with the town hall, I feel this COVID's not going to flatten out. I don't think it's going to reduce. I think it's going to surge again, in my opinion, listening to everybody else. And it's so important that, this town hall only had one laptop for someone to take home. So everybody's trying to work from home on older computers and whatnot. So it doesn't work out very well. So I think this is a very good idea for the Board of Health and moving on into the century and what's going on with this particular virus. It's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse, I feel.
How easy is it for somebody with a laptop to get into the town system remotely?
It's actually quite easy because when I was home, I used my 10-year-old's laptop to access my information here,
Okay.
my emails and such.
All right.
And Ryan would set it up for us too.
All right. Yeah, the emails I know are easy, but probably easier to do from home than to do from there on any given day.
Yeah.
All right, Gil, any more?
I would need a motion on that.
Yeah.
My question is, how soon could you get the laptops?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So you need a motion for us to be able to spend some of that money on laptops
Yes.
Correct.
and accessories.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I guess we need a motion.
I'll make a motion to allow the office to purchase laptops or tablets with the money received from the grant.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that. This is Kevin.
Okay. Any further discussion about that? Okay. Roll call, Dennis?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Arlene, yes.
I think that's great.
It will make our lives a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, can I speak again now? Are we all set with that?
Yeah, because I have questions about what else we can use that money for.
Well, you want to go on that? Or?
No, go ahead.
So this was like maybe $7,000, call it. So what the plan is, we're talking to Todd, using that money. We can switch that money around whatever way we want. It's within the guidelines, what it's sent for, and paying the VNA bill.
Which we haven't gotten the VNA bill for the month of April, and I think it's probably going to be pretty high.
Do they charge us per case for the tracking?
I don't know how it's going to be charged because we've never been in this situation before.
Okay.
So I have literally no idea. We're going to have about $6,500 left to spend, unless we get more money.
And it appears we will be getting more money. There
should be a third phase. There should be a third phase to the money.
I'm sorry?
There should be a third phase to the money.
Oh, okay. So we've received $10,000. The computers are roughly $3,500 all total combined.
Yeah.
So we'll have like $6,500 left over in this phase that we've already received.
In the past, the tracking they've done has always been included in the contract, right?
Yeah, but we've never had that they have to do all of the things that they're doing now.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So I literally have no idea.
Okay.
No idea. It's usually less than $500 for the month. It's usually like $466 or $470 a month.
Yeah.
But I, honest to God, don't have no idea what it's going to come up to.
There's been a lot more man hours than that in the past couple of months. So
Exactly. So
All right.
I don't know how they're going to bill that.
So we're going to wait to see if we're going to need that money to do that. What other things can we use it on?
Well, it's mostly, as far as case identification, tracking,
If we wanted to purchase PPE.
yeah, surge staffing, or, public health
Okay.
duties, if we end up with, a public health nurse, someone we have to pay for, other than, a volunteer, someone that's been sent to us by the DPH. We have also, supplies, work-related travel, other expenses. The way we broke the category down is consultant, contractor, 1,000, supplies, 1,000, and compensation, salaries, and fringe. We had to change that because salaries and wages and stuff, the VNA isn't that. We had to move that $3,000 to the consultant, contractor, vendor.
But we can move it around however we see fit.
So the $3,000 we're setting aside as consulting fees, that's for the VNA.
Right.
Right, but if it doesn't come up that much, we can change it.
You can change it, right? It's not cemented. And you can't buy PPE if you want to, can you?
Yes, you can buy PPE.
Oh, no, I mean, you have the money to buy it.
You can't find it anywhere, but we have money to buy it.
You can't, you can't find it anywhere.
Correct.
That's the problem. You've got the money, but
yeah,
not necessarily able to replace or figure out how to buy it. Okay. All right. So hopefully by next month we'll have an idea. We will have gotten another bill by then, right?
I would think so.
You ready again for me?
Yep, I am. Go ahead.
Okay. Other towns around, which they've done, probably 3 or 4 towns in the last few days, have going into a public declaration enforcing face coverings in all essential businesses and people using essential businesses. I'm sure everybody's heard of this. Teresa and I put together the guideline and requirement of it this morning. If you want me to read it or whatnot, I think this order should go in effect right away. Marshfield did it last night. Very concerned about this. People wearing face masks and going into these places. Most of our stores in CVS and Fenn places, they're adhering to their own people wearing masks and whatnot. So we feel that, like other surrounding towns around, people going into these places to wear face coverings. And we've put together, we've accumulated like different towns, like what Plymouth has done, Marshfield's done, Pembroke's done. So we've got this all done. What the best way is to get you people. I'd like to put this in effect as soon as possible, starting maybe possibly tomorrow.
But you have to notify people. You'd have to really get it out, the information out there.
I will. I do every other order that comes from the governor. I personally deliver it and deliver a copy to all the essential businesses in the town of Hanson.
This is Kevin. Just a quick.
I'm sorry. Is that Dennis or
It's
Kevin?
Kevin.
Okay.
Just a quick thing. Maybe we could contact. Maybe is it the highway department or the police department that has the signboard? Maybe we could put something on that in front of the town hall just to get it out there.
Yeah, we can do that. Oh, also, I mean, well, I don't want to change the subject right now, but I'd like to get this taken care of now. But
my concern,
it is a one-page guide, and it pretty much mirrors 3 other towns. We've just, cleaned it up for the town.
It's just to ensure that people going into Shaw's wear a mask.
But how do you enforce it?
When I do compliance checks, I'm out there doing compliance checks. I've been called to Shaw's like 3 or 4 different times. Dollar Tree, working on them now. People complaining that the aisles are filled with materials and they're not one-lane aisles, one-way aisles and whatnot. So I've done that. We're very fortunate in the town of Hanson. We don't have a multitude amounts of businesses. And like I say, I do compliance checks when I'm out doing inspections. walk into places and make sure they're doing the right thing. Some stores are a little bit slower than others, but I think this is very important moving forward. I feel that Hanson has been very fortunate. We don't have a large amount of cases due to the fact we don't have a lot of congregating housing. So I think the more people in Hanson do preventative measures for this COVID virus, I think the better off everybody will be for the citizens. Everybody in the town of Hanson will be.
So is this something that basically we're enforcing the businesses, and maybe we could put a fine on it or something that the business would have to pay, so it's more the business has to enforce it to the customers as well?
Yes,
Does that
that's
sound
what
accurate?
they have to have an employee at the door making sure people are wearing face covering.
Right. And I think, like Gil said, I think everyone, where it affects everyone, I think everyone's kind of doing their own part to do the right thing anyway.
Right.
Yeah, my concern is enforcing it. I've been in a couple stores where the aisles are clearly marked what direction people should go in, and people don't care. They're going in the wrong direction anyway. A lady came down the aisle. Yeah, I know I'm going in the wrong direction. Didn't matter. Never occurred to her that the whole reason everybody goes in one direction is to protect each other from contamination. Didn't matter. In the store, what is the store going to do? They can't arrest her. They can't fine her. She's in there spending money. They don't want to throw her out. So are you going to say to Shaw's, that person can't come in and buy anything because they don't have a face covering on, and it's up to them to enforce that?
I was at Shaw's. What day was that? Probably Monday or Tuesday.
Monday was a holiday.
Tuesday, and they are doing their best there in Shaw's as far as mask and gloves. They're a little bit shy on gloves, but everybody in the store, I only saw maybe one or two people in the store at that time without a mask. And like I said, we don't have large congregations. Shaw's is the largest congregation, CVS and Dollar Tree. All the other ones are smaller ones. So the code enforcement is not super difficult. It is time that I'm putting into this and working to make sure people adhere to this stuff, because, like I said, the town of Hanson is very important to me. I'm born and raised here, and plan on staying here for an awful long time. But the people of Hanson, I think, have been very cooperative. I don't think this will be too difficult to enforce.
But you're saying that you're going to make the store enforce it.
Yes. Yes, and then with the bottom, it's like all the other towns saying, to extent necessary, the sort shall be enforced by the local board of health officials, Hanson Police Code Enforcement, building inspectors. That's what all the other towns have done. To say that they're going to do it, possibly not. But if the store sees that, they're going to ensure that they enforce this on their own too.
And we're presenting this, is this an emergency order?
Emergency order, yes, please.
Okay, but I've not seen it, so.
I'm in the process of emailing it to you right now.
Okay, I've not seen it, so I'm not willing to vote on something I've not seen.
Yeah, like I said, we put this together this morning.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves.
All right, I'm trying to get into my email and see what
Can we move forward on another issue?
Sure, we can come back to that.
Okay, so the Burridge issue, I've talked to Mike Mix over the last couple of days. We've talked about the Burridge thing for over a week now because of the fact of the large gathering. And originally we were told that the Fisheries and Wildlife was in charge of the area, that they were handling things, the environmental police.
I just sent that out to everybody.
So apparently that it hasn't been taking place. So I got a call from Mike yesterday that he was having signs made up, and the highway department was going to be putting them up today about warning about safe distancing and whatnot. We don't actually have the authority apparently to go there ourselves to.
But we do. We do have the authority, because it's health. It's not. It's not the environmental police's responsibility, because it's a health issue. So we do have the authority. To me, it makes no sense to close that down. It doesn't.
I mean that's you're taking everybody's place to get out and expend energy.
I think the most we can do is put up signs asking people to maintain social distancing, and if anything, if it gets to the point like it was last weekend, where there's hundreds of people there and the cars are parked all up and down Pleasant Street, we might need to look at maybe curtail the parking. But
It's Mike Mix has already addressed that with the environmental police, apparently.
yeah,
He's took the forefront on this, talking to them. And like he called, like I said yesterday, he had, they made up the signs yesterday to him, and they're being put up today. I mean, if we even attempted to close that place down, it would be.
you can't. When you can't, they could just go in through Halifax, go in someplace else, and it's not a matter of to close it. It's making sure that they're maintaining the distancing, which is making everybody else creeped out.
Yeah.
Right. I go there every single day, and I don't have a person come within 100 yards of me, but when they do come in with the groups, the family groups and stuff, they don't maintain.
Okay, the environmental police did tell Chief Mix that they don't allow gatherings. So someone there must be policing it, because they're not allowing gatherings going there like they were before.
But they're not there on the weekends, right?
I believe they are, because that is the headquarters. That is the district headquarters for what they call the Taunton area.
Yeah.
I've never seen them there on the weekends. I've never seen a car there on the weekends.
I've never seen anyone there on the weekends.
House on the right going in there, the big house and garage.
Yep, I've never seen a car there on the weekends.
Wow.
Nope.
Well, I had contact, Mike Mix, Chief Mix. He's the one that's had contact with them. He's been, he's had dialogue with them going on for the last week and a half, I believe.
It took him a week to get in touch with them. They weren't calling him back at one point.
Oh, I didn't talk about that. I just,
Yeah. Yeah. And the health issue is really up to us. And any way that we can put up signs and suggest that people not do that. I mean, what are you going to do? No one's patrolling on when days that it's good weather and saying, okay, you guys can't be here. There's a whole lot to do other than to remind people about the social distancing.
Yeah, apparently the signs are being put up now, according to Mike, Chief Mix.
Would it make sense on the signs? I mean, obviously everyone's aware of social distancing, but more or less to remind these people that they have to do that, or we will be forced to shut it down. I mean, not necessarily as a threat, but just to remind people that it's fine, it can be open, but if they aren't doing their part, that it will have to be closed down.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I'm not sure if the sign says. I'll check with him today. We usually do have a phone call.
The sign doesn't have to say that. We could put that on cable. We could put that on the town, on the Hanson Facebook, the Board of Health Facebook, just reminding people that this is an asset and we don't want to have to shut it down. People are not following the rules, and they're not social distancing. They're increasing the likelihood.
But again, it's 10% of the people. 90% of the people do the right thing.
Right.
A couple rogue groups will come in. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the other problem too. Yeah, the other problem too is a lot of people from out of town are the ones that are coming there, so they might not necessarily see it if we put it on the website or on cable. So I think the sign's probably the best approach.
About potential closing it down on the website, not just the signs that need to be there saying maintaining social distancing should be there, but just that if there continues to be an issue, then do we have to have somebody there on the weekend? And it's generally when it's a sunny day. If it's a weekend and a sunny day,
on nice days,
increases.
Honestly, on a nice day, I'm more concerned someone's going to get hit by a car, because the women are flying in and out of there in their SUVs, hitting these ruts. They don't care what they're doing to the bottom of their cars. They are flying. And I'm afraid some little kid's going to walk out from behind the car.
Okay, well, I'll talk to Chief Mix, talk to him today about it a little bit, and I'll check out the signs. I don't know where the highway put the signs or what the signs actually say they're putting up today, but I'll get together with him on it and go from there.
Yeah. Like I said, it's inside Burridge, most of the people do the right thing. It's just like one group once in a while, and that, people will be people. But Yeah, the traffic on a nice day is. Drive all the way down to light control now and walk in the back way because it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
All right, we'll definitely address it today. You know, the signs and I'll check it this weekend too. So, you know.
Yep.
Is it gonna rain this weekend?
Sunday.
Yeah.
Friday and Sunday. Saturday's supposed to be nice.
So Saturday would be the day that you're gonna find a zillion people out there.
I will be there to check.
Yeah. Has everybody gotten the mask thing, or do you want to move on to something else, Gil?
I got it. I'm reading it right now.
Okay, me too.
I think that pretty much is it. Things are going. You know, the office is operating almost as normal. It's just the fact we're not having people come in. You know, it's quite busy. Septic systems. You know, like I say, we've got quite a few of them going on. Oh, the Shaw system. Speaking to the engineer, they're developing a means of replacing the system. They're continually pumping. I check it, you know, once or twice a day, just to make sure that they're in compliance, that it's not overflowing. They have a part of the system up top on County Road. A good portion of the system was not taking the effluent because of grease. Apparently, grease trap maintenance wasn't done according to their Shaw's contract with the owner. So they have a part of the system that is working. They're allowing the pumps, they've changed the piping, allowing the pumps to go to that part of the system. So they've got a little bit of relief there from pumping, but we're constantly checking. The contractor, Podersky, twice a week to make sure that the tank does not overflow. So it's pretty much control. And I think at some point in time we should go over some of the fees and whatnot we have for some of these issues. I mean, we should be generating some money through this.
Have they talked about when they're going to start the repair work?
They're going through engineering's taking it over. I've talked to the engineer yesterday. He plans on having a scope of work and plans within the next week or so.
Okay. I'm still looking. I'm reading through the regulations here.
Yeah, that mirrors like 3 or 4 different towns, and we kind of adjusted it. You know, we don't have a lot of retail outlets, and it's mostly small stores, and we
This
don't
is
have.
really short notice to today to go around to these stores and say by tomorrow you have to do this.
We can change the date on it. I just know if Marshfield did their meeting and they did enforcement as of today. I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're telling the stores that they have to do it, but we haven't told the public that they have to do it. And how are we going to notify the public that in 12 to 15 hours, this is what they now have to do? I mean, most people, I think, are wearing masks when they go in and out of places, but
well, the state already recommended it.
Yeah.
The state recommends it, but the state's not regulating it. It's saying you should, if you have common sense and you want to protect yourself, you should do it. But I see people going in and out of stores and they don't have masks on. And it's not like
give it 3 or 4 days, like for Monday or something, and we can get it on the website in town.
right.
And probably
And
have it on the
prepare
sign.
people.
I think we just need to get it out there. I mean, if people find out the hard way, they're going to find out one way or another. Whether we do this starting next Wednesday or right now. I mean, people are going to find out the hard way, to be honest with you, I think.
People going to Shaw's to food shop tomorrow morning, if they don't have a mask, they can't food shop.
They're going to have to go home and get something. And it doesn't even say they have to have a mask. It's a face covering. So it could be a bandana. It could be, some type of neck scarf or something along those lines that they can fabricate on their own, I mean, it's not like people are really going about their everyday lives where they're going food shopping after they come home from work before they pick the kid up at daycare. I mean, if they get turned away at the door and they have to go home and get something, they're going to have to go home and get something and come back. I think we need to get it out there.
If you're a healthcare worker, you are doing all of that stuff. All your day-to-day stuff hasn't changed.
Right.
There's
The
so
in,
segment of the population that it has not changed.
in the essential workers, the ones that are out there like healthcare workers, they're already fully aware of this stuff. So it really shouldn't be any news to them anyway. Wouldn't you agree?
If you want to make it for like Saturday, I'm just concerned the fact that other towns are doing this so fast.
I don't care about what other towns are doing. I just want to make sure that we're not putting these stores in a position where they're refusing service to people because we're asking them to wear a mask that they weren't aware we were going to enforce this. That's my concern. Is you're going to say to people who probably couldn't wait to get out of the house and go do grocery shopping that you can't come in now. You have to go home, go buy something to cover your face, and come back. I'd be annoyed and I wouldn't go back.
All right, so you want to give it like 3 days maybe?
Pick a day. Pick a day.
Today's the 24th. I would say
How's-
Monday. By
Yeah,
Monday,
Monday.
we should be able to get
Absolutely.
the information out. Can you, Dennis, go on Facebook and start a rumor?
I can.
Could we put the maybe the signboard up at the town hall in front of the town hall or something, or put it,
We can ask
you know,
Mike Mix about that. Yeah.
that all, face covering, you could keep it pretty short, but face covering required starting whatever day. How fast could we get that done?
We can ask Mike Mix about that.
Yeah, we can try. That's Mike Nick. Monday, I think that'll give me plenty of time getting into the stores and explaining it to them. Like I say, we've only got 8 or 9 places. We want to.
Right. And I think people appreciate being notified in advance.
Yeah,
It's just,
I've been complimented as far as delivering some of this stuff in person because they're talking to somebody. They're talking to the health agent. They're talking to someone that that's out there enforcing it. So they know. Shaw's knows when the health agent comes into the store, they should be in compliance. So they're on their toes all the time because they never know when I do come in.
but
And
I'm
to
not
tell
talking
you, I
about
am at Shaw's at least twice a week.
I'm talking about the residents knowing that they would like a heads up. Most people would appreciate a heads up.
I mean, we got there's a blurb here. We got a message yesterday or something from Cable that forget her name. We haven't called her yet. I mean, that was like what was that? Like yesterday afternoon? Yeah, it was like late yesterday afternoon. So I'll contact her today. Maybe we can do something there too.
Was it Heather?
Yeah, it was like 3:30, 4 o'clock yesterday. Maybe maybe 3 o'clock.
It's either Heather or Carol. I'm not sure who.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So we're talking.
So we're at. Excuse me.
The 27th. I'm sorry.
27th.
Monday, the 27th at 6 a.m. still sounds fine.
Yeah, I wrote it already.
All right, that sounds good to me. We want to take a vote and.
Yep. Has everybody had a chance to look at it? Any other questions about it?
What you like?
I'm good with it. I think we got to get it out there sooner than later. And you're always, I agree with you. It's nice to give the notice to the public and kind of give them a full warning. But I mean, again, it's not a perfect world and this isn't a perfect situation. So I think the sooner we get it out there, the better.
In a posting, would I say per order of the Board of Health or per request of the Board of Health?
Per order. Per order.
The order.
Per order.
This isn't a request, right?
So the other thing.
Per order of the Board of Health, we will be requesting face coverings when entering any essential businesses.
Yes.
Requiring.
Basically.
Requiring face coverings.
They'll be required. Yep. So that's all. I'm going to keep it simple like that, and I'm not even going to let anyone comment.
I'll put it on the Board of Health Facebook page.
I'm going to post on all the local pages also.
Okay.
Huh?
You can do pages, Teresa.
Oh no, you post it on the Board of Health, and then we'll just share that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And that way, I'm going to share it, and I'm taking off the commenting.
Yes.
No commenting.
Yeah, see, I don't know how to do that. Maybe because it's a
When you're
town.
posting it, it gives you an option when you're posting.
Yeah, I think
if
because it's a town page, I'm not allowed to turn off comments.
Yeah, well, I will.
It's all considered public record.
It is, yeah, it is public record. So
Oh.
I was going to ask something else.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Just post it to the Board of Health page.
Okay.
I'll take it from there.
I don't know what
And
that
I'll get it
wonderful
out there
ticket
as
sound is.
So do we need a motion for that?
Yeah,
We
yes,
do.
yes.
Okay, so
Go
we'll
for
make
it,
a
Kevin.
motion. I'll make a motion to require face coverings for essential business employees. It's the employees too, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Kevin,
Oh,
do you
Yep.
want to just make a motion that we adopt the order
Okay.
without
Yep.
having
I'll
to
make.
do all of the?
Yep. Yep. I'll make a motion to adopt the order in the town of Hanson.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in any further discussion?
No.
Kevin,
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
Yes. The one thing I should have said was with the date modification, but we understand that, and I'm in favor as well. So, Gil, was there anything else?
I think we've pretty much covered everything. So,
Okay.
as far as that cable thing, Eileen, you want to talk to that girl? You want me to talk to her or what?
Call me, because I'm not sure who called you. What number did they have you?
I got an email at like 4 something late yesterday afternoon saying it was for today. Hold on. Hold on. Heather Gonsalves?
Heather, yeah, that's why I said Heather.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what did she
She
need
sent
or
me
want?
the email. I got it at like after 4 o'clock yesterday, saying that they were going to do it today. I'm like, okay, well, I need more than an hour notice.
Well, Buffy.
But what were they doing?
It says, I'm the outreach coordinator for Whitman Hanson Cable, blah, 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 hosting a virtual PSA production day. Each PSA is typically anywhere from 30 seconds to 1 minute long. We could use supporting photos and graphics to go over the video. The PSA topic can be the Hanson Health Department would like the residents of Whitman and Hanson to be mindful. I would love to book a time slot for either yourself or someone in your department. And she sent this late yesterday afternoon. It came
And she
in
wanted to do it today?
yeah. It's on the production day is Thursday, April 23rd. Virtual PSA production day. I'm like, okay, well, I got it at 4:03, but I didn't open it right at 4:03. I probably opened it at 4:15 or something, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I would email her back and tell her that you need more time to do that and set up a time sometime next week. Because you've got other things to do today that are more important. So I would get in touch with her and say, you're not there Friday. You need to do it one day next week, and you needed more notice. That's all.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I mean, it is good to be able to do that, but not last minute when you're not prepared and you're in the middle of 60 other things.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. I figured if anyone was going to do anything, it'd be you doing it. So it's kind of odd they got that late.
No, they're trying to do that just to keep the information out there and so that people know what's going on. Just a little clip saying this is the Hanson Board of Health. You know, this is when we're here. This is what we want people to do. It's 30 seconds, and it's going to be audio. And they can put up whatever graphics we want. They can put Hanson Town Hall, whatever. But you still need a little more time to put it together. You kind of can't tell people at 5 minutes of 5 that you want them to do something tomorrow morning at 9. That doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. So I would just reach back to her and say, you know, I need more notice than that. We need to do this one day next week. That's simple enough. And then just think about what you want to say. You know, what information do you want to get out to people? That's all. Anything else, Gil?
No, well, yeah, just an update on the transfer station. The transfer station is getting to be increasingly popular. Been up there a few times, observing people using it. We do have people using it more often. I can't wait to see the numbers for this past month. I think it's amazing. A couple of stores have run out of bags. They're ordering bags, and a strong increase in the people utilizing the transfer station, mainly because they're probably home and and throwing away more, creating more trash and throwing trash away. We are doing stickers. Like I say, the office has been running pretty good. We're doing. I think we're doing everything we normally do without the people coming in. And like I said, we use the Dropbox, we use mail, and things are going pretty good. I appreciate the meeting today here. I think we got to move forward. And like I stressed to everybody, this is not going to stop. Everything's going to stop at a certain time. I don't believe it's going to stop. I firmly believe we're going to have a resurgence, and I think we should all be prepared for it. And the thing is, everybody's, from what I see out there, everybody's working for today, but the aftermath of this is what's going to be the problem. When it's all over and when the all land on the table, and we got to pick them up and put everything back together, because it's going to be a long haul for all of us. And that's my talk for today.
Yeah, I don't know about a resurgence, but we're going to be knee deep in this throughout the summer. I can tell you that. And Lord knows when the economy will ever recover if it does.
Well, they said the second wave will come with the flu in the fall.
Right. So at some point, we're going to need to make sure come September that people get their regular flu vaccines. And then we're still going to have to wait a year to get a vaccine for COVID. So you're still going to have to ask people to maintain the social distancing, not shake hands, not share stuff. Moving forward, there's a lot of things people did in the past that they're not going to be able to do in the future.
Absolutely.
Because there would be a resurgence. Socialization is going to be so much different. It's just, no more shaking hands.
Well, if you're in the high risk group, it's Russian roulette. If you're in a high risk group.
Right. Even if you're not in the high risk group, there are people that have died that have not been high risk groups. Young people.
Oh yeah, a lot of young people now are dying.
So you really could just consider everybody high risk. Nobody wants it. I don't want anyone, and that's why at one point when I was in the store, the first couple of people that went by me the wrong way, I didn't say anything. The next person that did, I said something. I said, look, you're putting me at risk because you don't want to follow the rule. Don't come in the store. I don't want to get whatever you have or what you don't have. The whole reason for us going in one direction is so that we don't interact with each other. You going the wrong way creates a problem for me. So it's like, if I get arrested for a fist fight because somebody was going the wrong way.
I got one more thing. Yes. Can I talk again?
Yeah, go ahead.
One more thing. I forgot about this. Talking about Mike Nixon signs. I wanted to get permission to have Webster Printing, who's doing the signs for Mike and them, for like 3 or 4 signs for the transfer station. Promoting social distancing there also, because it's becoming so congested at times, and people pull right up behind other people, and they're trying to dump their rubbish at the same time other people are. The attendants are there, trying to separate them, but they do have a hard time. But there's so many cars coming in. So
I've been up there a lot, and I've never seen lines. And
I'm
up there all different times of the day. I can see on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I go up there all the time, and I'm not seeing. I'm at least seeing them out of their vehicles, which is nice, but not. I've not seen big lines.
Yeah, I think those plastic lawn signs or something like that. Have them up there just to ensure people, because they'll tell someone to hold off, and the person doesn't understand what hold off. So
if that turns into, I was going to say, if that turns into an issue where the dump's becoming overwhelmed at times, would it make sense? Maybe we could in the future look at possibly doing, like two different groups, like Group A gets Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever, just to stagger the days.
That's
split it up, something like that.
I work, and I only have certain days that I can get to the dump. And
that would be difficult, because you have first responders and stuff that are busy working crazy hours, and they can only.
only get there at a certain time. And the only time that potentially might be is if you get, like this Saturday, it's going to be sunny. There'll be a lot more people there.
Worst case scenario, you could have one of the guys at the bottom of the driveway letting only a certain amount of cars in.
If it gets to that point.
If it gets to that.
I'm just saying the size part won't even cost $50, $60 to have them do it, because Western Printing has been doing, very cooperative with the townspeople as far as doing things. So, in fact, you even have decals. Those decals, you leave them outside for free to anybody that wants to take them. So, I think it'd be a good idea. Being run by the Board of Health, to have something saying social distancing.
I can tell you, I've not seen it be a problem when I've been up there, and I'm up there a couple times.
I mean, I don't think it would hurt to have the sign.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think having a couple of signs is going to hurt for the short money that it's going to cost. I don't think it's going to hurt. If anything, it will help.
And will that come out of the money that we got from the boards?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Out of
Yeah.
where?
Yep.
Taking my grant money?
No.
I'm only kidding.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I mean, I think, and I think maybe, in the near future here, maybe we can do one of these calls, and maybe not as long as this one's been, just to work more cohesively, making sure everybody's on the same page, because this is not going to stop. This is going to keep going, and there's decisions that have to be made. So I think in the near future, maybe we should consider this. Maybe the phone call, maybe like instead of once every 4 weeks or so, maybe once every 3 weeks.
For what?
Yeah.
So are you sort of saying in between meetings we should at least touch base one other time?
I think so. Yes.
Like it's every 2 weeks. Minimum.
More of just a status update. Is that what we're saying?
Like we have issues. The rubbish people aren't picking up everything. If it's not in the barrel, they're not going to picking up. We're getting calls. I get calls.
But I can't believe that they were picking it up with it not being in the barrel.
Well, we've got issues
the
now.
vendor I had wouldn't have picked up anything that wasn't in the barrel. So
I'm
surprised.
I have issues on Catherine Road. I'm out to Catherine Road once or twice a week. We got a home there that's got too much rubbish, and the neighbors feel they live in $500,000 homes. They shouldn't have rubbish on the yard. So that's
right. But that's up to the resident to contact their hauler.
Yeah. But the people complain, so.
But
and I've talked to all the residents up there that have that particular hauler, letting them know that they are responsible for their rubbish. The Board of Health is not responsible for making their, curbside pickup person, come and get it. So, yeah.
But is it because the person is putting out too much and the company's not taking it all?
And then they put it out the night before because there's so much, the animals get into it, and I went there one day a few weeks ago, and there was rubbish up and down the street. And finally, the neighbors, kept calling, and the hauler came out was it 6 o'clock that night or 5 o'clock that night?
About 5:30.
5:30 that night, and picked everything up.
Could the hauler provide them with another container?
Yeah, but that would be for them.
Yeah.
That we wouldn't get involved in that.
Yeah.
No, and there's a cost associated with that.
Probably.
That's probably why the person's not getting another rubbish barrel.
They're probably not recycling.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's got nothing to do with us, but I go out there and tell them I let the homeowners know they are responsible for their trash.
Right.
So I'm done now. I think the meeting's gone an hour and a half, and I'm glad everything's, we've got things going here. We got to move forward and, and get up to tune here with what's going on with this, because not only do we have to enforce this, it's everybody's nervous. I'm nervous myself about it, so we got to, on in this and, get through this together, all of us.
So I guess we'll plan on touching base and just a status update. What would you say you want to do, weekly or bi-weekly?
I want to see what goes on here as far as construction is starting to pick up.
It would still need to be posted.
Yeah, we got to post it. So let's we'll talk about it in the next couple of weeks.
We have our next meeting is what, 3 weeks?
May 12th, which is 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay.
So I guess we can leave it up to Teresa and Gil that if you feel we should have another conference, that we can kind of leave it up to you guys to reach out to us and we can post it.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Depending on, the feedback you're getting or issues you're having, we can kind of leave
Right.
it up to you guys to reach out and we can schedule something.
Definitely.
Sounds good.
All right, anything else?
That's it.
That's it?
Motion to close?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Seconded? Roll call, Kevin,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Arlene, yes. The meeting is adjourned
11:24.
at 11:24.
Goodbye.